Are you having trouble concentrating on your studies? Well, don't worry, it happens to the best of students. To concentrate on your studies, you may just need to shake up your study patterns. Study in a quieter place free of outside distraction. Try a new technique, or simply come up with a really effective study plan that allows your mind breaks as often as you need. Experiment until you find what works for you. With the right setup, concentrating should be easier. So, we are going to watch about the how to concentrate on studies.
Method 1. Staying focused. First is make a timetable.
If you have a long night of studying ahead of you, make a plan for the day. Aim to work for 30 to 60 minute periods with 5 to 10 minute breaks in between. Try dividing work into smaller chunks. Your brain needs the break to recharge. It's not laziness, it's letting your brain synthesize the information. Try to switch subjects every hour or so. 2. To prevent yourself from getting bored and saturating your mind. Too much of one subject, then your brain will start going on autopilot. A new subject will wake up your mind and your motivation. Step 2. Set aside time to worry or think about other things. Sometimes it's hard to study because the real world keeps creeping into our minds, good or bad. We feel like we don't have control over our thoughts, but we do. Tell yourself that you'll think about that problem or that girl or boy when you're finished. You'll feel a bit of solace knowing you'll get to it eventually. And when the time comes, the urge may have actually passed. If you start to feel your mind wander, stop it dead in its tracks. Take a second to shake it off, and then resume with the material. You are the ringleader of your thoughts. You started them, and you can stop them. 2. Keep pen and paper beside you and write down everything that comes to your mind during your study sessions. Do or think about those things once you are having a pause.
Step 3. Switch up how you learn.
Let's say you just got done reading 20 pages of a textbook. The last thing you should do is jump into 20 pages of the next textbook. Instead, do a quiz with some flashcards. Make a few charts to help you remember those economic stats. Listen to those French tapes. Do some studying that involves different skills in different sections of your brain. Point blank, you'll be less bored. And it'll be easier for your brain to process, too. Switching up what skills you're using helps your brain process the information faster and hold on to it. The time will go faster and you'll remember it better. Check and check.
Step 4. Reward yourself.
Sometimes we need a little pick-me-up to keep ourselves going. If the good grades aren't enough of a reward, create something else to keep you concentrated on your studies. Maybe some sweet treats and some noshing time in front of the TV. A shopping spree, a massage or a nap. What would make studying worth your while? If possible, get your parents involved. Could they help supply you with incentives? Maybe getting better grades could get you out of your least favorite chore or could temporarily up your allowance. Ask them whether they're willing to help work out some type of reward plan. It never hurts to ask.
Step 5. Backtrack, if need be.
Have you ever been handed a pile of paperwork and wanted to fill it out, but you just didn't know what some of it meant? That can be what studying is like sometimes. Recognize when you need to go back and make it simpler. If you don't know the basics, don't try to tackle the content. Pass it out first. When a question comes up saying, "What was George Washington's stance on the Boston Tea Party?" it'll help to know who George Washington is. Figure that out and then move on the content at hand.
Step 6. Make studying more active.
Teachers know it, but they'll rarely say it. Reading can get boring, especially when it's on a topic you don't enjoy. To make your studying more effective and to make it easier to concentrate, use active reading techniques. This'll keep your brain from wandering and make sure your grades stay top drawer. Here are a few ideas. Ask yourself questions as you read. Look away from the page and summarize out loud what you read. Step 7. Make notes on the concepts, characters, plots, or events described. Use as few words as possible and brief examples to tell what you mean to say. Abbreviate the spellings of what you write in your notes. Note page numbers, titles, and authors of books in case you need to refer to them again for a bibliography or another reason. Create a quiz as part of your note-making, as you read and use it later for a checkup and a review. Finally, get on the internet and then get right back off after your break. During your break, make your time online count. Get right on Facebook. Turn your phone on and check for texts or missed calls. Don't spend time answering them right then unless there is an emergency. Take part in all your favorite break activities and n-dash, but only do so for a few minutes. Get it out of your system, and then get back to studying. You'll feel a little better having been plugged in and connected, even if it was just for a few minutes. This little recharging session will do wonders for your focusing ability. You may think it could be distracting and get you off course, but ultimately you'll be able to get more done. As long as you use your break wisely, that is.
Method 2. Creating an environment for proper concentration. First is choose the right spot.
A quiet place with a suitable environment. Whether it is your room or a library, choose an atmosphere that is silent and free of distractions to concentrate. It should be away from the TV, pets, and anything else that spells for an easy distraction. What's more, you want a comfy chair and good lighting. There should be no strain on your back, neck, or eyes. Pain is also a distraction. For example, do not study right in front of a TV. You will only do your homework when the advertisements come up. Go to get a snip of TV or radio only as a quick break, exactly as if it's a few moments to go to get a drink of water or fresh air for a minute. Sit in a chair at a table or desk while you study. Don't study in bed, except maybe reading on top of your covers, propped upright with a bright reading light behind you. However, don't get under the covers, you'll just want to fall asleep. What's more, you'll start to associate your bedroom with studying, and that's definitely an impulse you want to avoid. A standing desk does a remarkable job making you focus on your task, in addition to being a healthier option to sitting.
Step 2. Have everything you need to study.
Your pencils and pens, highlighters, and books should be within your reach so that you are not distracted while studying. Organize the area, if need be, so the clutter doesn't clutter your mind. There should be no reason you have to get up, interrupting you from being in the zone. Quote, even if you're not sure you'll need it, it should be in your study area. All the textbooks, notebooks, and papers you need, remember that syllabus, should be within arm's reach. This is quite literally a setup for success. Use your laptop if it is necessary for your studies, otherwise keep your laptop away from you.
Step 3. Have a snack nearby.
Try to keep it to something simple that you can repeat, like a few nuts, blueberries, strawberries, 1/4 an apple, or break off a piece of a dark chocolate bar. Keep water nearby. 2. Don't drink too much coffee, caffeinated teas, or any energy drinks. You'll be up all night long. They inevitably lead to a crash that makes you feel dead tired and n-dash. And pinching and slapping won't fix it. Looking for some superfoods? Research shows that blueberries, spinach, squash, broccoli, dark chocolate, and fish are all brain-boosting foods that can help you get your study on.
Step 4. Write down your study goals.
For just today, what do you want, or need, to get accomplished? What should you do to be able to walk away feeling like you've done all you needed to do? These are your goals, and it will give you something to work toward during your study time. Make sure they're doable. If you have to read 100 pages this week, break it down to 20 pages a day. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Keep in mind your time constraints as well. If you only have 1 free hour tonight, do the most important thing you need to get done. Step 5. Make sure your cell phone and other electronic devices are turned off. This will help you avoid temptations to be off task and allow you to stay on your plan. Only use your computer if you need it for your studies, otherwise, it's just an unnecessary risk. As for your phone, put it in airplane mode unless you need it on for an emergency. There are websites and software blockers like self-restraint, self-control, and things that can keep you away from the websites and software that are the hardest to resist. Understand yourself and whether you need Facebook to be blocked for the next hour or so. Don't worry, it'll come back.
Finally, consider playing background music softly.
For some people, music helps them concentrate. For some, it doesn't. Try it out and see what works best for you. A little something in the background can make you forget that you're just studying instead of having fun. Keep in mind that the music that's right for you to study may not be the music you traditionally like. Traditionally, music that you don't know is better because recognizing a song makes your mind wander. Or even sing to it. Experiment with listening to other genres to see whether there's something you enjoy but can easily tune in and out. Try to use a background noise generator that plays natural sounds such as birds chirping, rain, river stream, or other pleasant sounds to help you study. There are several free tools available online.
Method 3. Making concentrating easier. First is listen to your body.
The fact of the matter is that we all have high energy periods of the day and super low energy bouts. 2. When you, if possible, study during your high energy time. You'll be able to focus better and retain the knowledge you're inputting into your brain. Any other time will just be an uphill battle. For some people, this will be bright and early in the morning when they still have plenty of energy for the day. For others, they get their juices running at night, after powering up for a while. Whichever is yours, listen to your body and study during that time.
Step 2. Get enough sleep.
The benefits of sleep are practically innumerable. Not only are your hormones regulated and information synthesized, but it helps you fire on all pistons the next day, too. In fact, trying to focus while overly tired is physically similar to trying to focus while drunk. If you can't concentrate, this could be why. Most people need between 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Some a little more, some a little less. How many hours do you like to sleep? When you don't have to set an alarm, try to get that every night by going to bed a bit earlier than usual. As required.
Step 3. Eat healthily.
You are what you eat after all, and if you eat healthily, your mind will be healthy, too. Aim to eat your favorite colorful fruits and veggies, whole grains, lean meats, and dairy, nuts, not greasy fries, chips and fattening candy, and good fats, like the ones in dark chocolate and olive oil. A healthy diet will keep you more energized and make it easier to put your mind to the test. Avoid white foods like white bread, potatoes, flour, grease, and sugar. They're just dead foods and sugary drinks that cause you to crash in class and at study time.
Step 4. Take control of your thoughts.
You are your motivation when it comes down to it. If you convince yourself you can focus, you can. Grab your mind by the horns or start thinking positive. You can do this and you will. Nothing is stopping you but you. Try the 5 more rule. Tell yourself to do only 5 more things or 5 more minutes before quitting. Once you've finished those, do another 5. Breaking tasks up into smaller chunks makes things easier for those with shorter concentration spans and it keeps your mind going longer. Try not to generalize about your abilities in a way that holds you back. For instance, instead of saying, I can't do algebra, you might redefine the problem by saying, I get confused about simplifying expressions.
Finally, do the least pleasant tasks first.
While fresh, you can sizzle with the highest powers of concentration at your disposal. Do the most critical and deep background concepts early before moving on to easier, less challenging, but necessary grinding out of details. If you do the easier tasks first, you will be thinking about and stressing about the harder ones the whole time, reducing your productivity and ability to focus. That being said, avoid bogging yourself down when reading, or getting stuck and defeated on difficult problems or essay questions. Sometimes the least desirable part of an assignment may be too time-consuming and it could kill all your available time. So try to limit your time and self-supervised to move on to easier matters, if necessary.
We hope it is useful to you. Please subscribe to our channel to upskill yourself.